I end up, working the indies in Florida. That's how I ended up meeting Sal and FIP and Gabe, Ring of Honor. But how I got to TNA the very first time I was at TNA was a girl that I was on Tough Enough with, a girl named Jess Ward, who's now actually married to Tommaso Ciampa. Jess Ward was one of my roommates on Tough Enough. And I remember going to Universal. I can't remember who had said, "Hey man, just come to Universal and just shake some hands and blah blah blah." I can't remember. Maybe it's an extra gig or whatever. But I'm backstage during the early TNA. This is before they were even on Spike. So this is like the Wednesday nights on Fox, Fox Sports days, right? Yeah. Maybe not Wednesdays, maybe Thursdays, but this is right before Spike TV, and I'm just kind of backstage, and Jess is walking by with a clipboard. I'm like, "What is this girl doing here?" And so we kind of reconnect, and she hooks me up with Raven, I think it was. She's like, "Oh, this is like, let's see if we can use him in something." And my very first televised appearance in wrestling other than Tough Enough was Raven smashing me in the head with a trash can. And, and that's kind of how that started. And then I got in with Terry Taylor, and I would come back in, and I did a pretty long string of jobs, right? Like I got to wrestle like Ron Killings, the Dudley Boys, Monty Brown. I think I got to wrestle Jeff Jarrett and somebody else. I got to wrestle New Age Outlaws. Like, so it was keeping me around, but not signing me or really giving me anything. Like, this is a funny story, and I always tell him this when I see him. So Scott D'Amore is like Jeff Jarrett's number 2 at this point, and so I'd been coming around for a while at this point, like I'm saying. So I see Scott coming out, and I'm like, "Hey Scott, listen, man, I really appreciate the opportunity that you've given me. All the spots, all the shots, but I really feel like if you give me an opportunity to do a little bit more, I can be very valuable. Just let me show you what I can do." And he says, "Man, Kenny, I can tell you that we had a conversation about you not too long ago, and it just seems like we're just not quite sure what to do with you because we don't think that you're quite big enough to be the heavyweight division, but you're way too big to be in the X division." And as if on cue, here comes Joe walking out with the X division belt. Well, looks at me. Joe at all of like 290 pounds, right? Looking at me, looking at Scott. "What's up, guys?" So I'm looking at Joe, and I look at Scott, and Scott looks at Joe, and he knows I'm burning a hole in the side of his face, and he's just like, he looks at me, he's like, "All right, well, good talk, man." So that's kind of when I was like, all right. And not too long after that, did I get an opportunity at Ring of Honor, and then that's where I signed my first deal, was Ring of Honor.
Absolutely, man.
Real quick. I don't know if you remember this picture right here. I'm gonna show it really quick.
I feel like that is Shenanigans. WrestleMania.
Yes. So that was down in Dallas. We went to the Kevin Nash party that he didn't show up to. Yeah. But from the moment I met you, and I mentioned this early on, when we was at Ring of Honor, you was always that guy that always wanted to help everybody that was trying to get a spot, because like you just said, you knew what it was like trying to do everything you could for someone to notice you. And I remember we walked to the store. You and I went to the store, and we came back, and we were sitting outside the 2300 Arena. It was a Ring of Honor show, and we was chopping it up, and he was like, "Yo, man, I want you to do everything you can to get here." And you said to me, and it resonated to me for a very long time. He was like, "I want you to come and take my spot." He said, "Because if you come and take my spot, that makes me work harder. If you can come take it, come get it. But I'm not gonna make it easy for you. I'm gonna make it hard for you. But if you can come get it, come get it." And that always resonated with me. Like, yo, this dude is as real as can be, because anybody else was like, "Yeah, man, take me to the store," and then walk off and be done. But you actually took the time out for a bunch of us. It won't just me. Just sit down and just like, "Yo, this is what you need to do, man. And I feel like you need to do this, or go this way, or go that way, or this like that." So I want to say thank you very much, bro, from the bottom of my heart, from Jump